Are you ready yet? Are you like
I'm always ready, Stu. I'm always ready.
sure about that?
Yeah, positive.
You're just
Why? What's your problem?
well, I've been sitting here waiting for to start recording, and you're just like fumbling around, just messing with your phone and
Oh, is that what happened?
your headphones, and
You know
like
what?
you
I
can't.
apologize, Stuart. You're right. I apologize. I would like to start living differently.
Mm,
One of the things I would like to be better at is to acknowledge my faults more quickly and to
okay.
simply apologize and then move on. So, Stuart, I apologize.
Thank you,
I
man.
also apologize that I'm your friend. And that apology is an apology to myself.
Uh,
Self, I am sorry that you made the choices that you made, that this is your best friend and business partner. Self. And
oh,
myself, in also the heart of change, forgives myself very quickly.
dude, you're changing. We're making a lot of changes around here. This
Yeah,
is good. This is
big.
big.
It's good.
It's good stuff, man.
It's
It's
good.
good. It's
Yeah, man.
not so dumb of you. Really, actually, kind of smart of you to make all these changes for the good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, you know what is dumb? And this is interesting because I probably have like 6 books going right now, and I all of them are just, I love them all, and they're very different, right? So currently just finished You're a Badass. Um and I'm in the middle of Think Like a Monk and The Infinite Game. And it's interesting because there's a lot of commonality, and you can see where people pull from each other's books, and the world kind of shrinks as you read more of them. And on Holes, we just finished Holes, a family, that was the family book we just read. Awesome. It was really good. I intend to write a blog post on that, and why reading fiction is so important, and the doors it can open to
Yeah.
conversation with your kids. But that being said, there's been an idea that really resonated. There's a lot of commonality in these books, but one that really resonates, and it's this idea that you are where you are because of the decisions that you've made. And why that's important, it seems obvious, right? But some of the, like, an example, a great example is someone comes and they want to lose weight, and they really want to lose weight, and they really want the end product of looking like The Rock or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you start digging into, okay, so what are you doing? Well, I really like pizza. Well, that's cool. Oh, and I also hate working out. Okay. Well, there's going to be a problem, because when you look at someone like The Rock, there's a lot of discipline that goes into, and I don't mean focus on his cheat day. There are days that he put in, hardworking days that got to a cheat day, right? So if you're unwilling to change anything, and you're unwilling to be accountable and to maybe seek help, then just accept. And I love how Jen Sincero says this in her book. She says something along the lines of, if you don't want to do, everything you've done has gotten you to where you are, and if you want to continue in your sucky life, then just keep making those decisions. I thought that was a little bit harsh, but it's true, right? You
Yeah.
wouldn't be complaining if you didn't think this aspect of your life sucked, whatever it is. My professional life, my home life, if you didn't think it sucked, then you wouldn't be reading these kind of books. You wouldn't be asking advice. You wouldn't be seeking coaches. You wouldn't be at least expressing that you desire a change. You'd be doing something about it, right? I mean, you would be acknowledging that this sucks, and then you would do whatever's required to get out of the current situation. And I love that. And also Rick Warren, I listen to a lot of his sermons. He talks about that a lot. He's like, hey, you're not going to get out of this situation that you got yourself into overnight. It didn't take you, you didn't get into it overnight. Debt, overweight, whatever it is, it took you a while to make the decisions you made to get yourself in your current situation. So it's going to take a while and action to get out of it. And it just really resonated, man. Like it really hit me between the eyes on the way I think about um, the excuses I make, and why I'm not achieving or obtaining the goals that I say are important to me. Because as everybody knows, words are cheap, dude. It means nothing unless you act on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's interesting, like, we are very action oriented, and we understand that it requires you to take action and make a change to impact, whatever it is in your life, your weight, your health, your bank account. Um, but and then there's other things that, I say I know that I need to do that stuff, but like you and I were just talking before we recorded about some parenting challenges that my bride and I are having with our 4-year-old. And he's a very headstrong individual. He challenges everything. We say he's going to be a great leader when he grows up, but now like he is a challenge, and like we haven't, like what we've been doing hasn't changed anything. And so like at some point we have to make a change and do something different. And so it's, it's just interesting to me that like I know in my head that I need to make a change to make an impact on my weight or my health or my bank account or whatever. But I haven't done that when it comes to parenting. I don't know why. I'm sure there's some, reasoning behind that. But as we're talking through this, and this is just coming to, to my thoughts here is, why can't I make the change in my parenting style, or my wife and our parenting style, but I can make a change easily on something like my eating habits or my workout routine or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think there's also, things of consequence, especially high consequence, oftentimes I think are the hardest things to change, right? When
Yeah.
you're talking about parenting, not only are the things that, we're responsible for, guiding and shepherding a life.
Yeah.
The stakes don't get much higher than that. And it seems like that would be the area that would be the easiest to change because the stakes are so high. But I think it's the inverse, right? I think I think a lot of times it's harder, and you're dealing with another human being. You're dealing with not another human beings. You're dealing with other human beings, to include your wife, Wellesley, and a whole slew of issues, and the way we grew up, and the things that we have in our head about our parents, and the biases and all this stuff that you're trying to fight through to then ultimately make a good decision. At least you pray and hope it's a good decision.
Yeah.
To then guide another human being into ideally successful adulthood. And it's hard, man. And I think that's also the hardest things are the most worth doing, right? I think if it was easy, all these things that we say are important, this country would be full of people walking around with six packs and svelte bodies and super mentally healthy, and raising productive human beings. Well, that's not the case. We actually have the highest rates of obesity in the world.
Yeah.
Like, why is that? Why is that? It's not like
mental health issues like ever.
And
children.
And our numbers are actually in that realm are super high globally.
Yeah.
The West is super high percentage wise for mental health and anxiety and suicide and all these things. And then I would argue that a lot of us are not putting responsible adults out into the world. and why it seems so obvious, but I think there's no one answer. This is very complicated issues, but I do think a lot of it has to do with not seeking true accountability, not sharing these deep, like, would you feel comfortable? I mean, you're different, but most people wouldn't share what you shared with me before the call.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have that frank of a conversation with most people. I mean, we would, like, I have no shame. Like, I would do it because I want to hear, like, okay, you struggled. One, I get comfort in that, which is kind of morbid, I guess, but I get comfort in that. But also, you may have dealt with this thing that I haven't. And so when you're always on here and you're finding advice on the Instas from a person you never met,
Hear meaning your
That can be
phone
problematic.
for those that are listening.
Yeah, sorry, I'm holding my phone in front of my face.
Yeah.
Um, and we're constantly seeking that instead of the wisdom of other people and loved ones who will give us honest, no kidding, real feedback, and not doctored pictures of their perfect family.
Yeah.
It's real, man. It is a real thing. And again, if you really want to make a change, then you'll do something about it. And for me, that doing something about it has always been who I surround myself with. Always.
Yep.
For effective, powerful, lasting change has always been found in real conversations with real human beings to make a change, to be better in everything. Right? Most fit I've ever been is I was surrounded by a bunch of dudes playing football. And then after that, when I had accountability partners meeting me at the gym, when it came to fitness, I'm accounting for what I'm eating, what I'm doing. When it comes to parenting, I'm talking with my wife, I'm talking with my friends, I'm seeking advice. We're going to counseling. We're in, the church, asking older couples. Like all these things are what really lead to real change, not what we've been doing, which brings us full circle. Is if we want to change and we want a better country and we want to not to be in constant competition with Australia for the highest obesity rates in the world and have like an impact on lowering these life-threatening things to include mental health, we have to do something different because
Yep.
what we're currently doing is not working. Unless our goal is to be fat and mentally unhealthy, then it's working perfectly.
Yeah, dude. For sure, man. Hopefully this, the Storehouse Mastermind is just a small piece of that, right? Holding other men accountable to making changes to better themselves, better their families' lives, better their children's lives, and actually do something about it, right?
Yeah.
Making this place like better. Um, and so, I've already been challenged a lot just, by our conversations individually, but also in our group, in, calls. And I am making change. And it can be hard. It can be hard to make change, but I think it's for the better. So, yeah, man, this is good. It's just these conversations that you and I have are awesome. The men in the Storehouse Mastermind, the Kinetic Men, are incredible. It really makes me want to go be a better dad, right? Be a better husband, be a better leader. So,
Yeah, man. And we talk about the mastermind a lot. And I think, especially for people that don't know us who aren't in it, I think it can get a lot. There's so many masterminds and people I've heard people tell me like, hey, we should start a mastermind because they're making so much money and blah, blah, blah. And I wish it wasn't such a jaded thing because it's such, our passion. Obviously, I'm passionate about this, right? Like
yeah,
I've had sailors kill themselves under
yeah,
my watch, and I've
yeah,
had the real life challenge of talking to their parents and digging through the emotions of how do we stop these things, and are my kids are going to be in threat of mental health issues, and dads and parents and other men, and really the whole thing behind this is, would you do it for free? Yes, I would do this for free, because when you see the changes in people's lives to impact the things that you just talked about, it's huge, man. It's huge. And if you're listening to this and you're not taking these things seriously, or you're not desiring these changes, then just ask yourself why not. And if you are, then hey, like we've got a place for that, right? We've
yeah,
got relationships for that. And I think that it just is such a power. Like I'm fired up about it. I'm so excited
yeah,
to be. I was picking weeds today, like, I just because it's kind of zenny for me to pick weeds, and there's so many in my backyard. but I was thinking about this mastermind and the men in it, and I was also picturing there's other opportunities out there for us.
yeah,
And I was literally picturing burning the boats, those opportunities being the boats, and watching them sink and moving forward on this path that we're on, because of how powerful and important I believe it is and can be. And if we change, dude, it's a huge problem. And do I think every dude in the country is going to be part of the Straw House Mastermind? Well, I mean, it's open. You guys can join,
Yeah.
but no, of course not. But for those men that choose to make a difference and walk that path and that journey together, it's going to be powerful, dude. And I'm so excited for, selfishly, for myself to grow from that, but also for these dudes and hopefully for their children and their families. And yeah, man. So Jensen Chero, thank you for kicking me in the teeth, telling me
I gotta
to
go
go
read
back
that
to my
book now.
sucky life. It's a good book. It's a good book. You know, I don't agree with all of it, but there are nuggets in there that I'm just like, man, this is, take action.
Nice. Love
Yeah,
it.
buddy.
Don't be dumb. Take action. Make change. Let's make this world a better place for us and our future generations. And those are some deep thoughts, my man.
Deep thoughts from one dumb dude, you,
Oh,
and a really,
I thought you
really
were talking about
deep,
yourself.
a deep, deep dude,
Mm.
me.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm
Love
trying to
you.
make I'm trying to make change too and acknowledge that.
Hey, and I backslid. Nobody's perfect. We're
Yeah.
humans. Nobody's perfect. I backslid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There you go.
See ya.
See ya.